Hello. Okay, so hello, Fen. This is gonna be my sort of quick VOD in solving Gibraltar for Oxford versus Strathers. I think in this match, what the bans were is that they banned Genji and you guys banned Baptiste. Um, So just thinking about like what they play and what you guys play, they will play this double flex. It's gonna be an Ana or Baptiste and then a Kiriko. They're always gonna play the ball and then they're gonna probably play the Torb Tracer Torb Sim Tracer Sim. So I think initially ban wise, I think if you're wanting to play the sort of brawl style, you could look for an Ana ban, which is, without Ana, the dives become a lot less impactful. So I think Ana ban here is more useful than the Baptiste ban. I know you want to play the Ana to deal with the bull, but if possible, playing like a Kiri Brig is probably going to be a better backline. Then Rene can also play the Diva. I think Brig, Kiri, Diva, Tracer, and then the Cassidy is really strong. It's a very hard thing to kill. And it also has both point control and also it has some high ground control. But you can also play the Arista as well if you really wanted to. But you just getting rid of that Ana makes it impossible. It makes it really hard for a lot of things to die. I think especially if you want to use a bull ban somewhere else. I don't think it's worth using bull ban here, just because it's like still a good map for them. So maybe using like you did using bull ban on like Kasurvasa or something like that is definitely a better option. I know they switched to Sigma, so we'll talk about that in a second. But yeah, so like, the point of the comp is like the point of your comp with the Kiri Brig is to force the cart under. So what we did on the Angels is what you do is you have like your tracer force cart. Then once the cart's about this position here, you have your cast rotate under with your Brigitte. Your Kiri can stay main for a little bit and then TP under. So you basically have your entire team sort of force point under, like 4 people on point, if not 5 people. And it makes it really hard for them to touch it. So at this point here, you want your cast to be rotating under it. Not to go back onto high, right? The tracer gets caught there, but like the point of the cast is just to set point and shoot whatever they touch. Touch is really hard for them. So like going into open space where the ball can get these free slams on is sort of difficult, right? And then that's where the Ana ban comes in really useful as well. I mean, Big Ball just hits the shot. But like sitting on point is normally would be a death sentence, but because you have your Brig, Cass, and Carry on point, it becomes a lot harder. This frees up your Diva and your Tracer to leave point and to find stuff. I think the Hog can be a good option as well if you don't want to play the Diva and you just want to force point even more, which is sort of what happens here. Yeah, and the ball gets kind of caught there. Okay. So moving on to the next point. So yeah, it kind of worked there versus the ball, but I think the Kiri Brig is with the Ana ban's definitely a lot better. Okay, and then we moved on to this sort of Sigma comp, which is they're playing as high spam damage, this sort of stuff. So yeah, so again, right, if you have that Brigitte under here, it really just forces point and it supports Shrek on point. And then you can have your carry play these high grounds and also take control of high grounds. There's a lot more mobility in high ground control. You can still play the Brig into this comp. It's definitely doable. Like yeah, that's just it's just a really hard comp to deal with. This kind of just repeats itself for the next 4 minutes sort of thing. But Rennie goes onto the ball. I still think Diva here is a better option, because the rock and sleep into the ball is really hard here. I mean, of course, if they don't have Ana, it's a bit better. But again, like you get the kill onto the Ana, which is really good. But then, okay, and then the issue is that Umbra is always going to mark Egg Rogue Man pretty well. So here, I would say to go Genji if they haven't banned that. If they've banned it here. Maybe go sort of Freya or even Sojourn, just to have that mobility to get to different high grounds. Or even if he has some, yeah, I mean, if you had a sim, the sim could work quite well because you can surpass it, like if you want to play the sim Cassidy. But all what I would say is, again, put your Cassidy onto point and sort of force the touch with the Cassidy sort of thing. So force the Sigma to sort of look at you, and then from this point you can then decide if he backs up, he can go high, or he can keep forcing point here. I think what we'll see is like you get a trade. It's unfortunate he sort of dies there, but like exactly what happens in this fight is like you just forcing point on cart, you're getting it to a good position. He drops. Oh, they have none. Unfortunate. Yeah, he just needs to die, right? You get the trade. I think it's traded. Yeah, I just think like the Ana, or would even mirror the Kiri here, the Kiri Ana, right? If you're going for this comp, I think you just need some sort of mobility to take the high grounds, right, and help your Tracer Bull. Your Ana, it just feels like your Ana Wuyang are just getting sort of in the same. They're just playing in the same place, which means it's just really easy to get marked by the Sigma. They both have to sort of walk to high or play low. They don't have any good mobility. It's unfortunate they sort of clutch out here. They just have respawns. Again, D.Va, I would say, is slightly better versus their comp that eats the nades, eats the Suzu, eats the heals. If you are willing to play the Wuyang, then that's just a Kiri in the place, probably. Kiri Wuyang here. Instead of the Brig. You can even lose here as well. Again, so you see here that the Ana and the Wuyang are just stacking on top of each other, and they just get marked out by a single Sigma here. So I would, yeah, it's just a hard comp to sort of get value with on this point. You kind of need some form of ship control, but if you don't have any mobility, the only way to get there is through the Sigma, which is just a bit hard. Honestly, even like fucking Life Weaver hit could go big. Life Weaver cast could go big. That might be a cook, to be honest, but like, I'm just thinking like Life Weaver cast just like here. Okay, you switch to this Brig Eater, but you're still gonna have the same sort of problem for like getting stuffed in the choke, right? And this is what the D.Va can help with, pushing out as well. Like, I will skip forward to the defense. I don't think that's an issue. We've covered that.
Ready for battle.
Oh, I'm getting a call, so I'll finish this off in a second. But this is my first half. Oh. Okay, I am back. Now we're going to look at the defense.
Attackers incoming.
So again, I think D.Va here is probably preferable to the Bull. I get, they're playing Pharah now, but I think just in this double flex, is quite, D.Va is a lot more deadly, I think, and also with these high grounds to abuse, and I don't know, I don't know, I fuck with the D.Va a bit more, especially in like Brig Kiri comps. It just makes your entire team so survivable. Yeah, so again, what the position here would be for the sort of yeah, already sort of see a mistake. Yeah, so the job here of the D.Va and the Tracer is to juggle point. You don't want to let point go under, basically. So you normally have your Tracer starting in this sort of position, and then your D.Va would maybe be on this position, and then the D.Va can go down and help, right? So if the Sigma walks high, the D.Va has two choices. One, he can mark the Sigma, or help 2v1 Spectrum on point, right? Or look for something, let's say like the Arna's walked up onto the high ground. So, and then also, you probably want your cast, or even if you're playing like Ashe, maybe, Matt used to love playing the Ashe, have it playing the high ground, Tracer slow ground. Your Ana would be here, but then if he gets pushed out by the Sigma, he can back up to here. Or sorry, Kiriko. I'm going to imagine playing Brig Kiri, right? And like Brig can also stop the Sigma walking out quite heavily. And, like, it's very mobile. So I'm assuming my Kip or Ben can play the Brig. If not, then we'll have to speak of addition. Like, again, Kiri Wuyang better, I think, than the Ana. Yeah, it's sort of unfortunate he gets picked off early, and while you're losing this fight, the cart was already under, right? So all the special needs to do is go onto point. It's really Shrek stop to sort of go for the touch, which is what he does do, but already the cart has gone on way too far, right? And off of one pick, it's a bit unfortunate though. And then Shrek dies somehow. So I would definitely be looking at like a Diva. Oh, you wanted to, and also Freya is also a good option as well versus the Sigma, right? Or Ashe as well. I think this is just kind of clean up there. Rennie goes over to Hazard. Hazard can work as well. I think Hazard is a fine pick. But again, Kerry, Brig, I'm just gonna keep edging. Then you have your sort of your hit scan play up top with, let's say, Brigitte. Again, if they're on ball sort of thing. I think Brig is pretty good into Sig as well. Like he's pretty good. Force him to low ground, nice, and you got the kill. I remember this was being very close, and like, it came out to nearly last fight territory. They just unlocked. But yeah, that's also my especially on first point defense of how you sort of play the dive. Yeah, you just again Tracer with the Diva. Switching can like switch positions to stop payload. You have your core up on the high ground. Then if your core gets pushed, your Diva can then come to help, or your core can go out and then play the next high. But like ideally, you don't want to give up this for free. And like having a Brig on this corner really stops it. It can really help stop the Sigma from pushing into you. And then your Diva can also come back and help that with your Tracer on the ground. Then your Brace come back. It's all good. And then also on this point here, I would say it's when you're playing the Brig carry, it's really important to not give up high grounds for free. So you have sort of two options here. You probably want your Diva on this high ground. Your Tracer would be then playing inside server, and then they can, like between them two, they can stop point. Then you probably want your Freya or your Cassidy to be looking for rotates through to high to try and find value, especially if they've all gone point. Then your Brig can play like here or here, and then your Kiri will be main sort of here, and then you can look for the high ground sort of aggressiveness here. If the Brig plays in this area here, just needs to be very careful of getting pushed out. So I normally a safer position for the Brigs to play here, and then the Kiri can go high with the Diva, and then the Tracer can play inside here. It's a lot of angles. And then also, you just want to be on high, and then also when the point gets here, you can have your Kiri play high ground. So I mean, it gets a bit more chaotic at this point, but like the main sort of thing is don't give up. Try and retake high grounds without letting cart push. Basically, don't just be passive and let them spam into. Look for stuff with your Diva on high ground, your Tracer here, and your Brig's very good at stopping point as well. So it can be as well as like your Kiri can pocket your Brig for a little bit to get touch. So between your Brig, Tracer, and Diva, you can look for stuff. Stop cart, and then the other two can look for stuff. Okay, hope that was useful. Bye.